On you. Hey, wow. Hey, guys, welcome back to Nights of Halloween. Wow, this is our sixth night of incredible interview after interview after interview. And let's go to the link over here and shut me up. That's what happens whenever Sean doesn't do everything right. But that's okay because it's Rockinboxes Presents. We're live. Anything can happen on the show. It's fantastic. By the way, guys, please welcome our very special guest from one of my favorite movies, of course, My Bloody Valentine. And please, everybody, welcome Udy. Hey, Helen, how you doing?
Good. Thanks for saying my name so nicely.
Oh,
That's hard to do.
je parle français, remember?
Ah bon, c'est pour ça. C'est bien. Ça marche.
we could do this whole interview in French, and that would be really horrific for everybody watching.
It's Halloween, you know. No, we won't do that.
No, we would never do that. No, gosh, no. So anyway, geez, I am so happy to have you here, and we've had some really great guests this week. We had Jimmy Lee Combs on Friday, of course. We'll get into the terror tales with Lorene Landon last night. Touch on what you've done in the past. So essentially, let's talk about, oh my gosh, let's talk about My Bloody Valentine, because it was one of my 5 or 6 or 7 horror flicks as a young kid, and it was one of the most scariest and terrifying movies of anyway. Let's talk a little bit about it. You played Sylvia, and how are you cast for that role?
I had done a movie with George Mahalka previous to that called Pinball Summer. Now it's called, I don't know what, they changed the name because they didn't want to date it. Really, really great little movie, a fun in the sun sort of beach movie. And then he got this deal to do this horror movie. And basically, I had to audition for it, but all I had to do was scream. He wanted to make sure that I could scream because obviously my character needs to scream a lot. And apparently not all actors can scream. So I went to his office and screamed as loud as I could. And he was like, done. So I was very lucky. I had worked with him previously, which, basically my first movie was with him and my second movie was with him. It's not like I had a lot of experience. I kind of just got very, very lucky with him.
Oh, that's fantastic.
He's very generous.
Oh, yeah. And I loved the whole concept behind the movie. I mean, in a mine shaft, it was so original. It was shot here in Canada, and you're Canadian.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. Just give everybody what it was like being on set, and, the creepy feeling maybe of, when you guys were doing what you were doing in and around this mine, and Harry Warden hunting you down, and talk a little bit about.
Well, it was very exciting. We were all really young, and it was like all of us, our first or second movie. And we had this great young director, very enthusiastic, a full crew. In those days, you couldn't shoot a movie unless you had 100 people on set. It was just that way. So it was a really massive production by today's standards for horror movies. And all of us in the show, all the actors bonded right away. And to this day, it's like you bond in college. Well, this is our college. We all bonded, and we've never lost touch, and we all love each other. And
Sure.
So it was really, really amazing in that way. And the thing about it, I don't want to disappoint people too much, but my death scene was shot in the mine, but it was shot in the changing room of the mine.
Yeah.
So it was actually kind of dangerous to go down into the mine. So if you weren't in the shot, you didn't go. So to be honest with you, I know there are a lot of scary stories about the mine, but I don't have too many of them because my character dies before they get stuck down there. I am the second person. I can't remember what number I am, but I don't make it to the mine because I'm in the coat room.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah, that's right.
I get killed in the shower, so I never get far enough down in that mine. So I can't tell you much about it.
No, hey, that's fine. You know, that's a good. Yeah, I knew it was in the room where you were, and basically, with regard to the room, when the minor gear was coming down on you, did you get hurt at all? Was it like you know, did
No,
anything hit you at all? Were you know,
no,
how scared were you? How afraid were you?
no, I was such a method actress though, so actually I got teased a little bit because I was like trying to work myself up into a frenzy and feeling very in character and frightened, and so I tried to be as scared as possible. But no, I wasn't harmed at all. It wasn't that was scary. It was the fact that Sylvia or my character or I in the scene didn't really know what was happening. Something suddenly, all of the coats were dropping down, and it was disorienting. So it was both like that for me and like that for the character, because at the time we were synonymous. I was so method. So
Yeah, that's I can see. So the kill scene itself, how did that happen? Like, I mean, he lifted you and put you up on the
yeah,
back. It went into the back of your head, the spout for the water there.
yeah. Well, the fun thing about that was that I had to get a prosthetic made, and it was, oh my gosh, the most famous special effects makeup company. I can't remember who they are now, but they were in Los Angeles, and so I got flown to Los Angeles at the age of like 17, for the first time in my life, just to get this prosthetic made. That was super cool. And the day before, they had just finished David Bowie's prosthetic for The Man Who Fell to Earth.
Oh,
So
really?
that's like how heavy duty these guys were. Yeah, they were super, super heavy duty.
Oh,
And
yeah.
and they told me wonderful stories about David Bowie, but I'm not going to repeat this. But uh, so the prosthetic was very, very realistic. And then Peter Cowper, as I knew him, but his name now is Liam Blackwood. He was a really, really gentle soul. He was wonderful, and he was very careful. And I seem to remember we had some kind of a rig, so that I was on a rig and we were kind of rolling, I think. And then he
Okay.
kind of lifted me up onto the. So they did it in many different takes to give it all of that appearance. And I don't know if the original scene is out now, but I think that they had to cut the scene down because it was so gory at the time that they didn't allow it in the theaters. So they did what everybody saw was a modified version of what was actually shot.
Oh, right. That's awesome. Do you
Yeah.
the the second part? I mean, what was your feeling about 3D?
What was my feeling about what? You broke up a little bit.
Sorry, My Bloody Valentine 3D. I mean, we could go on forever. The possibilities of part two. I mean, Harry
I am.
Warden.
You're talking about.
Sorry.
It's not out yet, is it? Or is it out?
Oh yeah, My Bloody Valentine 3D came out a couple of years ago.
Okay, so I'm really naughty, and I have not watched all those other My Bloody Valentines, but word on the street is that they were pretty good, and are pretty faithful to the original. So people, I think, have responded really well to those My Bloody Valentines. Um, and I definitely, is it Jared Padalecki that's the lead
Yeah,
in that? And I love him because I'm a
yeah.
total fan of his television show. So yeah, I always think to myself, well, he had to have seen me because he's seen My Bloody Valentine. So I'm very excited about that because I'm a Jared Padalecki fan. So yeah, so that's good. It's all good. It's all good. One day I'll actually see him in my movie.
Yeah, that would be awesome. You know, the thing with My Bloody Valentine at the end, Harry Warden, he's fighting TJ in the base, in the back, down in the mine, and then Harry, or not Harry, but he's fighting the other fellow, Axel, and then I don't know, Axel, everything crumbles down on him, and then all of a sudden you see him going away. So and as a kid, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, there's going to be a part two because there's a guy now. He's now the new Harry, supposed Harry Warden or whatever. They never revisited it, which
I know.
That would have been a good story,
We have talked about it. Of course, now we're talking about how we could do it and involve everybody and have us be the parents of the kids or whatever. George Mahalka, the director, we always get together. We get together, I think the My Bloody Valentine cast and crew get together about once a year, and every time we get together, we talk about it.
Yeah.
We just have to probably, we have to, I don't know what we're going to do. I'm going home for Christmas. I'm going to have to ask them.
Woo-hoo. Well, we're gonna have to anyway. Well, yeah, that's all. You're going home like to Canada,
to Montreal. Yeah. So hopefully, yeah. So maybe I'll get a hold of somebody and I'll be able to tell you more about that at another time.
Oh yeah, no problem. All right.
Even now, it's still in conversation.
Okay, that's amazing. Great. I want to be the first, please.
Okay.
So. I didn't mean to be so selfish with that because I was, like I said, was one of my top 5, 6, 7, whatever horror movies when I was growing up. Now, you played Wozniak's mother in The Dead Zone, and I loved The Dead Zone. It was shot here in Niagara-on-the-Lake. As a vlogger, I go around and do filming location. I did Police Academy filming locations. I've done, Bob and Doug McKenzie, Strange Brew, but the one that I really loved was here in Niagara-on-the-Lake because we have the Screaming Tunnel and the shot where Christopher Walken is walking in the tunnel and, he goes down and he meets Tom Skerritt and they're talking about the girl getting raped through the tunnel on and on. And, of course, the old gazebo. By the way, did you know the old gazebo is torn down and they replaced it?
Oh, they replaced it. Good for them. With something similar or with...
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, no, it's...
You can visit it anyway, right? You can still visit it? You can still visit it?
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It's you can still visit it, and what they did was they just put that composite kind of wood, that good stuff, because it was starting to deteriorate, and they were saying it was becoming a hazard. Like it was a movie prop that was supposed to be torn down anyway, but they just left it because it looked really great.
Right.
So they recently replaced it with this new thing. So talk a little bit about that in The Dead Zone and how it was and how, what it was like during that time, and did you meet Chris and, Tom and of course, I guess, Mr. Sheen there?
Well, I was doing a soap in New York at the time. I was on As the World Turns, and I was really lucky. I'm not quite sure how. I think that I was given that role. Now,
wow.
And I'm not even sure they could have cast anybody in it, really, but I was given that role. And I was flown to the location, and it was such a small role, but it was a very intense experience because they really put a lot into the try not to laugh. Try to keep a straight face, but it's really hard. I'm like, I'm just trying to be casual.
I'm sorry.
But no, they really I'm running through the streets of Poland, and it really was convincing. They found a dirt road, and there were lots of extras, and they had the money to make it look absolutely beautiful. Really the closest I got to Christopher Walken, because I wasn't actually in a scene with him, was in the makeup trailer. He was getting his makeup done at the same time that I was getting my makeup done. We didn't even converse, but I was there in very close proximity. And he seemed like a very nice fellow. I can tell you that. But we were sitting side by side. He was getting his makeup done. I was getting my makeup done because he wasn't in the scene that I was in. But strangely, there was a girl that was doing makeup in that trailer, and a year later, I met her in Los Angeles. She became a very good friend of mine. Her name is Michelle Little. She was a makeup artist, and then she became an actress, and our paths crossed again. So it's kind of an interesting thing. But that was a really exciting thing. Even though I had a very small part, they flew me in, dashed onto the set. It was lit up like Poland. And it was very emotional. It's hard not to do a good job with acting when you look around and you feel like everything is authentic. Like I felt like I was in Poland at that time, and my son was being taken away on a wagon. I remember it very clearly. So it was a really fun thing to do.
Yeah,
Really
yeah, I really loved I loved the movie, and you know, I saw it a couple
yeah.
times. There was one scene that I couldn't get to because there's a lot of people that do these vlogs out here in the world of YouTube, and they go to you know, theme parks. And the one park that they went to here, where Chris Walken, you guys, they were up on Canada's Wonderland, and they were on the Scooby coaster, the Scooby roller coaster that he goes on the coaster,
Oh, yeah.
losing it sort of. Yeah. So I want to go up there one time and just do that, just individual shot, me going on that coaster. I don't know what it's called now. But anyway, let's move along. Let's move on. We're just going to go out of horror for a little bit because, you know, I'm starting to get a migraine and things are happening over here.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. That's from Nathan.
So you have been in a lot of TV series. Oh, geez.
I thought that I'd be like dying slowly as I talk to you. What? Go ahead.
It's a progression. It's a progression.
I'll just make scary faces every once in a while.
So you've been in many TV series, and one notably that you were on for like 4 seasons was Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman. And you know, talk about Mira Bing and her character as, you know, on the show. You know, it has such a wonderful, you know, going from you know, Boston over to Colorado and getting away from it's such a wonderfully plot. Like, the plot is amazing. So how was it the whole time you were on that set and the big character there? You were, yeah. Did you catch?
It was terrifying. No, it wasn't. It wasn't scary at all. No, it wasn't scary at all. No, it wasn't scary. It was amazing. It was the most amazing. It was an amazing time in my life. It was like a surreal situation. You know, I was talking to a girlfriend actually the other day because my greatest wish in life would have been to have been a Scorsese movie. You know, I'd have done anything to be in a Martin Scorsese movie. So I walked in to this project, and it's just so funny because it is so the opposite of all my dreams at the time, you know. But as it turns out, it was a really lucky stroke. And I remember when I was a child with my sister, we used to play cowboys and Indians. And so we had this really vivid imagination of cowboys and Indians. And it used to keep us enthralled for hours and hours and days and months and months. And I know it's crazy to think about it, but thinking that part of the reason I was able to get cast in that movie was because it was in my psyche. So when I read the script, I felt very comfortable. I felt comfortable with the character. I had a vision, and it just happened to coincide with the creator's vision, and she's a genius. And it was a really, really lovely show, and I absolutely fell madly in love with my character. What I would say about Myra is that I learned so much from her, that she's a much better person than I have ever been. And it was really, really nice to play a character with a conscience and a character that was striving to better herself. And it was a beautiful, beautiful time. And all of the actors on that show were amazing. Yeah, it was real great. Yeah.
You have a lot of fans over here. They love exactly what they, you know, my friend Sandy, she said, I loved you on the show. You were one of her favorite characters. And I'm just waiting for anybody out there. If you want to ask, you know, Helene, any questions, please do.
Sure.
You know, so being on that set for 4 years, I mean, you know, did it take its toll on you after a while? Or, I mean, did you want to keep going on? I mean, was there, I mean, you know, was it something you wanted to just keep doing, or was it just, how did it all come about that you left?
Oh, those questions. We try to avoid answering those questions. No, I'm kidding. You know, I was on a soap opera, As the World Turns, before I was on Dr. Quinn, and thank God they fired me, or I'd still be there. I'm the kind of person that when I get settled and I make friends, I just want to stay there forever.
Oh,
Dr. Quinn, it was very difficult. You know, they had a shakeup on the show, and they decided that they wanted to change some of the characters out. I mean, you know, there's nothing nice to say about that, but you know, they were probably trying to protect the show, and they made some decisions. So my character was she wasn't the first to leave, but she was one of the first to go. And it was definitely not something I had wanted to do. I have to be honest about it. It was a very sad day for me leaving that show. And in fact, I was very lucky because the fans wrote in and they were very sad about it as well. And because of that, even though my contract had ended, they actually brought me back and kind of built a couple of episodes around me leaving to satisfy people like that Myra had a journey. They didn't want to just leave Myra in the dark. So they tried to be responsible, but it was amazing. I mean, what person doesn't want to be on a Western, right? I mean, it's a childhood dream to be on a Western, and it was fantastic. Although I have to tell you, I'm allergic to horses. I found that out the hard way. and they terrify me because I'm 5'2" barely, and like my legs are super short, and horses are huge. And it's a good thing they kept Myra on the ground. She was in the saloon most of the time, working hard.
That's awesome. You're right. Who doesn't want to work on a Western? Seriously, I mean, I love the old coaches, the old, the old buildings, and oh man, the sarsaparilla. Oh yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
Sarsaparilla. So you know what? Since 1990,
sarsaparilla, huh?
Yeah, good old sarsaparilla. Yeah. So I was just gonna say, so since 1997, you have to date, short films, TV movies, and this being Halloween week, tell us about Three Witches with David DeCoteau.
David DeCoteau. David DeCoteau. David
DeCoteau. Thank you very much. Thank you for the correction.
Yeah, David DeCoteau. He is, what a lucky gal I am to have met David DeCoteau, because I've done about 4 projects with him at this point. Three Witches, I think, was that the first one? No, I did Frankenqueen was the first one, where I played a very naughty scientist she had some ulterior motives with some young men. It was a really fun project to work on. David, when I first met him, he was doing a lot of stuff for his own company, 1313 Productions, and he would shoot these movies in like no time at all. Fast. Oh my gosh, you had to know your lines. So it was really like repertory theater, but he is the kindest person, and he is so talented because you have to really know what you're doing to shoot that fast, and he always makes stuff look gorgeous. So the first thing I did was Frankenqueen, then I did the Three Witches, and I became very good friends with Lisa London and Christine DeBelle, and we're tight to this day. And then David put me in The Wrong Student, which is a movie of the week on Ion TV. And I did he's put me in a comedy too. I just did a comedy for him last year. So I've worked with David DeCoteau a lot. And now he's doing a lot of movies right now, a lot of thrillers, a lot of television movies. He's a director to keep your eye on.
To be exact, he's got 133 credits to his name in the 1313 production. Jeez, he's like rolling crazy. He's going.
Yeah, but now he's actually doing now he's doing a lot of movies of the week for Ion TV. So the productions have a much greater production value. They shoot over a long period of time. They're like a movie of the week, like it's the real deal. So yeah, I was on a shoot with Eric Roberts was on one, and a couple of soap stars on one. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun stuff.
That's awesome. So just give us a quick story about Three Witches, because I read it and the plot seems really, really cool. Like it's really like you guys get together, old friends reunion kind of thing, and then some stuff happens.
Right, and then this doll possesses us one at a time. Yeah, it's really all about the doll.
All right. Well, what?
It's a scary doll. It's a scary sort of puppet master type of thing.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So Now we're going to move on to Krampus. Talk a little bit about Krampus and
I'm
that.
excited about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just finished a movie called The Stirring. We just finished production on that. I want to talk about that a little bit. But I'm about to do a movie called Krampus, and it's just a really fun, old-timey horror movie, full of great characters and also full of comedy. Like, it's just gonna be a super great movie, and it's from the director of Mia Moss, young
Okay.
director. I think he's can't be more than 23, Jake, and his name's Jake Zelch, and we're shooting that in February, and that's going to be something to look out for sure. I also I don't know what to tell you about Krampus, but you know about the story of Krampus. Like, it's kind of like a mixture of, when the angels come. What's that? And an angel got their wings. What's that name of that movie? The Christmas movie.
And the angel got his wings. Oh my gosh. Now we're
Anyway,
both putting each other on the
viewers
spot
know. Yeah, the viewers know what that is. So it's a horror movie version of that in a way. It's a parody. It's really going to be great. I just finished a movie called The Stirring with a very prolific horror movie director to watch. I don't know if you know him, Troy Escamilla. Do you know Troy?
Sounds very familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, you should look him up for sure. He's talented, and he wins a lot of horror movie awards and stuff. Like, in the horror world, he's a person that puts together a good show. It's a great script. It's always well acted. The Stirring is one such movie. It's about kids in a dormitory, and one of the girls died during Hell Week, and her mother. I come back, and the next year, her mother is furious with the sorority because they keep doing these Hell Weeks, and so the mother's trying to shut down the sorority. And it's a really, really just great plot. I don't want to tell you too much about it. No, and then I also just finished something called Faded Flowers, written by my great friend Luc Bernier. And I just finished shooting that, and that is like, it's hard to explain. It's going to be really interesting. It's like a psycho thriller horror movie. My character goes to a country place with her child. And over the period of them hanging out in the country, they get to know each other better. But weird things start to happen, and their relationship disintegrates in a really interesting and very, very scary way. So I just finished shooting that as well. I definitely want to pump those two things. So, yeah.
All right, because that was one of the questions somebody asked. They said, what do you got coming up? And you answered it. And by the way, the movie was called It's a Wonderful Life. Thank you, Sandy.
That's it, A Wonderful Life. Yes, so it's a really comedic horror parody on It's a Wonderful Life. It's going to be super.
There you go. Yeah. Now, like I said in the beginning of the show, we had Jimmy Lee Combs on Friday night, and we had Noreen Landon last night. Two wonderful people. Yeah. And we can't go into too much of how your character for Terror Tales, but I mean, if you could just tell us a little bit about being with that group and hanging out with those guys, and yeah.
You're gonna laugh.
They seem like
they're such great people, but so far I have yet to meet them. We keep meeting. Yeah, with the shooting date for this particular portion of the project keeps getting pushed, but as it happens, I'm supposed to meet them next Friday. So we're a week too early for this conversation. But
that's fine.
Can say this. They've been working really hard on Terror Tales. I'm really excited to do it. I've seen some of the trailer stuff, and it's really fantastic. Dedicated director, creator. So, yeah, let's see what happens with that.
Oh, my apologies. I thought you and Lorene were really like, you guys live near one another or something, no?
Lorene?
Yeah.
Nope, I don't know her, though. I don't know her yet.
Okay, all right. Well, then must be someone else. I'm mistaken. So somebody was asking. They said, how do you retain your being so beautiful and retain your youthfulness?
Oh, that's so sweet. Lots of makeup. No, I'm kidding. No, whoops. My,
Woo! We're there.
my phone was doing something spooky, but I righted it.
Uh-oh.
I work out a lot, and I stay in shape, and I eat healthy, and I live a great life, and I'm always inspired, and I'm hanging out with a lot of young people all the time. Sometimes I wish I could hang out with people my age, but there aren't that many of them around. They're all dead. So what can I do?
They're all dead. Oh my God.
What can I do? I've got to stay young for as long as I can, and that means that I don't know too many people my age because everybody else is young. So that's the key to being young, is hanging out with young people and faking it as much as you can.
There you go. Do you like horror movies? Do you watch them? Because Lorene and I, we had this discussion last night that, you know, she just liked the old time, you know, the Frankensteins and the Draculas and the mummies and the werewolf. Man, do you like horror movies? I mean, you do them, and you know, and do you have a favorite?
You know what's really interesting is I used to say I don't like horror movies. I just do them. But I have to say that on Netflix, pretty much everything I watch is horror movie.
Oh yeah. How about Stranger Things?
Yeah, or like the, you know, I'm into Stranger Things now. I'm into all that creepy, scary stuff.
Oh yeah.
I'm totally into it. Yeah, and it's new because I've only been into sort of scary movies maybe for the past couple of years. Not be into that at all, but I don't know. I like the suspense. There's some horror movies I really, really don't like. Like I do not like Saw. I don't like gore fests that are hyper real. I don't like hyper real gore fests. I don't like sadism. I like spooky stuff. And I like psychological twists. I like old fashioned good storytelling.
Yeah.
And I've been doing a lot of those kinds of movies. Like Dead Zone's amazing. My Bloody Valentine, amazing. And the projects that I've been doing are like that. I don't do too much that's just splatter. I don't do too much just that. And I say splatter because I'm looking at your face right now, and it looks like you've been through hell. I'm worried about you.
You know what? This was from last night with Lorene, and I had to go and get it stitched up. And then it looks like Negan came in and beat me up a little bit. I'm okay, though. I'll get through. We got one more night to go with this thing. I don't know. I'm going to be on the floor over here, and Jerry's going to have to pick me up. My girlfriend's going to have to pick me up. It's going to be crazy, crazy. Anyway, I'm all good. I don't know what the hell's going on here. It looked like I got shot or something. Jesus.
Yeah, it looks like a boil or something. You're really transforming. Are you even alive, sir? Am I turning into a ghost?
I don't know. I've been asking myself that the whole time we've been speaking.
That's a hard question to answer.
So on your off times, I mean, you're so busy and you've done so much. I mean, what do you do during your off times? What hobbies do you have? You know, what do you do? What does Helene Udy do on her off time?
My other persona is I'm a clown. My clown name is Sweet Pea, and I'm a stilt walk, and I do a lot of comedy, and I have a clown troupe, and I have a variety show. My variety show is set in Berlin in 1924. My name is Gretel Heinz in the variety show, and it's very cabaret-like if you've ever seen the movie. It's a little dark and a little fun, a little edgy, a little naughty. And so I have this very, very large live theater life, is what I would say. That's what I do. And then to make things really confusing, I also own a children's entertainment company and entertain children at birthday parties and stuff. So I hope none of their parents are watching this right now, but maybe they are, you know, I don't know. Maybe their parents are horror fans. It could be. But to make that separation, because I'm kind of aware of that, you know, my alter ego when I'm dealing with my and now I'm giving it away, giving the goose away, but my alter ego is called Lisa Thompson. So if you ever call me up to look for a clown for a children's party, I'll say, Lisa Thompson, how can I help you?
Oh,
I'm
wow.
such a liar, huh?
So I'm going to ask you a couple more questions. Someone wanted to know, do you prefer to do television over movie production, or I guess is it just it doesn't? Oh my God, sorry.
Something happened to you.
I know the blood's just dripping off here. This tastes so good. Are you? Are you? Does it matter to you as long as you're working?
No, I'm kidding. No, it really doesn't. You know, when you're on a television show, you wish you were doing an independent movie. When you're on an independent movie and you're working with young, incredible talent, you wish you were, on a stable show that everybody can see. It's just but there's pros and cons to both of it. And I'm really grateful at my age to still be in the industry, very productive, very creative. I have the freedom. I've never had a real job in my whole life. I feel lucky. I feel blessed. I feel so excited when people call me up and they say, you want to be in this project. I do not take it for granted. And I know, because I've also been a line producer and I've been a crew member. In my life, I've really insisted on knowing things about the arena that I work in. And people work their butts off to make things happen. And when somebody calls me onto set to be in a movie and I get a little chair and it's got my name on it, I am grateful. I'm grateful. So I never say no. Well, I mean, obviously, if I don't like the script, I'm going to say no. But I never say no to anything because it's not big enough for TV, or it's not going to be a major motion picture. Not at all. I try to be a part of as many dreams as I can be. So that's why I've done a lot of independent horror movies this year or this past year, is because there's a lot of really great, exciting talent out there. And I want to be there at the beginning so that they owe me one when they do the $1 million project, the multi-million-dollar project, I'll be their grandma. I'll be the grandma. They'll write in a grandma part for me because it might take them 10 years to get there.
That's so awesome. That's awesome. A friend of mine, her name is Jen Peace, and I was wondering, could I promote her with you? You read?
Sure.
You like to read? Are you there?
Yeah,
okay.
I'm here.
Okay, I thought I clicked mute by accident. So Jen Peace is a fantastic girl. I've had her on this show with me many a time, and she's got 3 different books out. Her Love for Disney is one of them, and the other one are Test of Fate, and the other one is Pirate Vixen, Valor of Pirate Vixen of the Red Dawn. And you can find her on Amazon, and Jen Peace is amazing. She's an awesome girl, and she loves she's very naughty.
Where does she live? She needs to come see our show.
Well, there you go. Jen, there you go. You heard it right from Helene.
Yeah, come see our show. Introduce yourself. Say hi.
Yeah, no, absolutely. There you go. And Jen, when she goes out, she goes and promotes her books across. So, maybe she'll make it to a show. So there you go, Jen.
Is she in Los Angeles? Is she a Los Angeles person?
No, she is in the Midwest.
Oh, she'd have to come to LA to see it.
Oh my gosh, why am I not thinking I always say Minnesota, but I don't know. I think she's a chick.
Okay.
I can't remember.
It's too far to drive, is what you're saying. She would have to plan very carefully. Yeah.
She just said thank you so much. She says yeah, she's very happy.
Okay.
So yay! All right, so there you go.
I do want to say this because now you've made me think I should promote Vas's Das a little better. So if you're in Los Angeles, our next variety show of Vas's Das, which is a little dark, a little naughty, very eccentric, and really, really entertaining, and it's free. It's at the 3 Clubs on November 7th at 8 p.m. It's from 8 to 9:30 p.m. and you should join us. So if anybody in LA should come to the 3 Clubs at 1123 North Vine Street in Hollywood, California. Park on the street. Come say hello to me.
Oh, well, there you go, guys. Look, and she's so down to earth. I mean, she's so amazing. Do you do, last question, kind of, and we'll wrap it up. Do you do appearances, and just tell everybody where they can find you? And so let's start with that, the appearances first, and then where everybody can find you.
Okay, so I do not do the conventional appearances very often, except if I'm with my cast and crew of My Bloody Valentine.
Okay.
I have done some appearances at Dark Delicacies, because my dear, 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 dear friend David Dakota organizes those events, and I'll do it for him. And I have to be honest with you, I hate those things. It's very, very hard to do those things, because I like to really communicate with people, and so I find them really exhausting because people are around, and I get a bit of anxiety. So it's not my favorite thing to do. So I don't pursue them. But if somebody calls me and asks me to do one, I will do one. But it's on a very rare occasion. However, I will repeat this. Go to Facebook, get on the Vasistas page on Facebook, and it's spelled WAS, and then further away IST, and then DAS. Join the Facebook page, and you will know where to find me once a month in person, and you won't have to pay $50 to do it. Bring your 8x10, I'll sign it for you.
Oh, wow. That's so amazing. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, you know what, that's so wonderful of you to do that. I mean, this has been a great interview. You've been so amazing.
I've had fun.
I know you.
I've had a lot of fun. We had like a dicey moment. We're like, oh my God, this is like a real horror show. Are we going to get this on air? That was tense, and it was exciting. I like that part.
Oh, that's awesome. And I'm so glad. So any of whatever you have, your projects, whatever, please share them on my wall on Facebook. We're friends on Facebook, so please do that.
Okay.
And I will share it out. And the more that we share, sharing is caring, because what we spoke about before with some of the other people that have been on the program, it's been tough because people only like stuff. Don't like stuff anymore. Share it, damn it. Get it out there. You have to
share it. You have to pass it along. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm the same way. When I'm trying to save a dog, I'm into saving animals. I'm like, share this post. Somebody needs a home. So you got to share all of the information.
Yeah, absolutely. So do you do the dog rescue as well?
I do. I've got 6 dogs, 2 rats, and a guinea pig. And in fact, I'm looking for my rats right now because I wanted the audience to be able to see them, but I don't know where they are. So
Benjamin, come on, Benji. Where are you, buddy?
Benjamin, where are you? I don't know where he is. I'm so sad. I brought them up here just so you guys could say hi, but well, they have minds of their own. They're hiding.
Yeah, I really do.
Next time.
That's awesome, because last night, Lorene Landon, we were talking about rescuing pit bulls, as well as Linda Blair does that too. So, and Ari Lehman also does the same. He also has his, he has hot sauce that he sells, and then he gives portions back to different, humane societies and whatnot. So it's so wonderful that you guys do that.
Well, the reality is I should be saving children, but dogs are so much easier. So I'm just, one day I'll do the Angelina Jolie thing and have like not 6 dogs, but 6 children, or maybe 6 children and 6 dogs. I don't know. I totally admire her. But I just don't have room at my house for more than 6 dogs at the moment. But children are next. Children are next on the roster of saving creatures.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, you're so wonderful. I swear, this has been awesome. You kicked it off the week. You 6-1 this week. It's been fantastic. So is there anything else that you want to tell anybody that we've given all the information out and they know where to get you and yeah? Did we do that?
That's good. No, just love each other, everybody. Love, love, love.
Yeah, love, love, love. And from Tribulation Studios, myself, Jerry Potter, Rockinboxes presents here. Tomorrow night we have another fantastic guest. It's going to be Tom Matthews from Friday the 13th, Part 6. You guys know him as Tommy Jarvis. He was the heroine in the movie. Join us at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 Pacific. I want to thank you very much, Helene, for coming on. And, I just wanted to ask one question. You going to be in Toronto on New Year's Eve?
I am. I'm going to be in Toronto on New Year's Eve.
Oh my
But I
gosh.
don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm going to be in Montreal from December 20th to December 31st, actually, because then I take a plane to Toronto for New Year's Eve. So yeah, if anybody has good parties, invite me on Facebook.
Well, I was gonna say, if you're going to Toronto, we'll hook up and we'll bring you here to Niagara instead, and you have a fun time here in Niagara.
But I have to be back the next day. Yeah? But I'd love to do it.
We'll get you back. We'll get you back.
I've got plans. I'm excited.
Woo!
Woohoo!
No, we'll talk after. We'll talk after. That sounds
right.
good. That sounds great. So again, thank you very much. Thanks everybody that joined us. By the way, Jen is from Upper Michigan, the Lower Peninsula. Oh wait, the Lower Peninsula of Michigan. So everybody had a blast this evening, and again, thank you so much for doing this. So we will see you, as I always say, be good to one another, guys. Love one another, and you know, last word.
The love is everything. You got it. Happy Halloween.